I'm Jen from TELUS World of Science Edmonton, and we're here today for another Maker Monday. This is a place where we solve challenges and learn a whole bunch of new skills, all while using stuff that you can find lying around at home. So this week is all about strings, ropes, and knots, and we're going to top it all off with some awesome fort building at the end. But this week we are going to detangle all of the mysteries around string, ropes, and knots. So let's go ahead and climb into some string and ropes. There's many different kinds of string and rope, but which is which, and when do we use them? String is made up of 2 or more fibers twisted together. If you take a string and untwist the ends, you can see the frayed fibers. One really common type of string that you might find at home is cotton twine, which is this stuff. We can use it on all sorts of projects. Another common type of string you might find at home is yarn. Yarn comes in all sorts of different colors and thicknesses, which is awesome. Made of natural or man-made fibers, yarn can be used for knitting, crocheting, sewing, and many other projects. All right, let's move on to ropes. You can think of ropes as kind of the next size up to string. Ropes are usually made of twisted bundles of string, or you could say they're all roped in together. They're usually much stronger than strings, and for that reason are used in projects that require a lot more strength. So there are 2 very common types of rope that you probably have at home. The first type is this stuff. This is polypropylene rope, and the other is this kind, nylon rope. You'll probably all recognize the polypropylene rope. It's also otherwise known as the common yellow rope, but as you can see, it comes in other colors. It is a man-made rope with twisted plasticky fibers. Polypropylene rope is strong, it's lightweight, and it floats. So it's really good for when you're camping or boating. However, it doesn't hold knots very well, so it can be pretty difficult to tie. But nylon rope is actually really easy to tie knots into. It's also very strong, and it holds a lot of weight, and it has a lot of flexibility, unlike our polypropylene rope. Nylon rope also comes in lots of different colors and thicknesses. It's so versatile and flexible that you can use it in lots of different ways. We can use it for climbing, for camping. Remember, making knots when camping is really useful. And we can use it in tons of home projects as well. Now, pause the video for a sec. Go and find some rope you have lying around the house. Make sure you ask Mom or Dad if it's okay first. And then we're going to teach you a couple of really useful knots, and they're going to come in really helpful for building our forts later. Okay, there are 3 common types of knots. First, we have the loop knots. Then there's hitches, and lastly, we have bends. Loop knots can look like this. They have a big loop that can go around something or attach to something. These are going to come in helpful for our fort building later. Here's an easy loop knot called a bowline. Lay the rope across your left hand with the free end hanging down. Form a small loop in the line of your hand. Then, bring the free end up to and pass through the eye from the underside. Then, wrap the line around the standing line and back down through the loop. Our second type of knot is a hitch. Now, hitches are used when you want to directly attach a rope to another object, like this post. My favorite easy and super useful kind of hitch is called the cow hitch. First, wrap the end of the rope around the object from behind. Next, cross behind the standing line Then wrap the tag end around the object in the opposite direction as the first wrap, and that's called a half hitch. And then feed through the opening by creating a wrap. Our third type of knot is a bend. Bends are useful because they connect two different ropes together. That can come in handy when you have two short ropes and you want to make a longer rope. An easy bend to learn is the square, or also called reef knot. You're essentially tying two overhand knots. So first, you do right over left, then under. And then next, you do left over right and under. To finish it off, make sure both parts of the rope exit the knot together. There, that one was easy, wasn't it? The square knot is maybe not the most secure bend, so we're going to show you another one in a moment, but it is really useful. You can use it on survival bracelets, even macrame projects use them. If you're interested in trying one of those projects, you can check it out in the links we've added below. Another useful bend knot is the sheet bend. This one in particular is going to be useful for our fort building momentarily. To make the sheet bend knot, first, form a loop in the end of one rope. Then, pass the free end of the rope to be joined under the opening of the loop, around both parts of the first rope, and then back under itself. Then pull all four ends to tighten the knot. This knot is much stronger than the square knot, so usually better for shelter building. Speaking of shelter building, didn't we say we were going to build a fort at the end of this video? So we're down in the science garage right now, and we're going to be building an awesomely epic blanket fort. So we're going to need lots of ropes and blankets and lots of fun. It will help to have a variety of clamps and clips with our fort building as well. So I've gathered up a bunch of supplies here from the science garage to help us out. So we're gonna start by setting up the basic skeleton or structure, and then we're gonna add some ropes to help add some support. This is where we're going to be using our bowline loops. I have a few different ropes here with bowline loops in the end of them. We're going to just wrap them around the 2x4 in behind here and stretch them across to our bench, which you'll see in a moment. So here you can see we've used our cow hitch to attach the rope coming from our 2x4 down to the bottom beam on our bench. So all you have to do is, after you get it on, you tighten it up by pulling on the leading cord and then also pulling on your second cord, and that'll tighten your rope. So, I just discovered that this rope is a bit higher on our 2x4, which means that I need a longer rope. This one's not going to cut it. So, what I've done is using our last knot, this is our sheet bend. Remember? A sheet bend was designed to hold two different ropes together. So, I've taken a yellow rope and added another rope, put a bowline in the end, And we're going to replace that yellow rope with this one, and hopefully it will be long enough now. Now we're at the point where we get to add all of our blankets to our fort, and this is where our clips are going to come in handy as well. Now that our fort is complete, you can go ahead and do what I did and add a bunch of personal touches, maybe some tools, some cool building materials, maybe even a couple of books, whatever you need to be comfortable in your fort, and you can just go and hang out. Now I know you guys at home are super creative and can totally build an amazing fort at your own homes. So this is my challenge for you. I want you to try practicing some of the knots that we learned this week, build an epic fort, and then snap a picture of it, and can you share it with us by posting it in the comments down below. So that's it for Maker Monday this week. Thanks for joining us again here at TELUS World of Science Edmonton. I hope you can join us next week for another Maker Monday episode where we do another awesome skill building or design challenge. And until then, everybody remember to stay safe and stay curious.